Good morning. It's day 8 of my 10 days of homelessness. I'm Dean Wright, the director of the Freeport Area Church Cooperative and emergency shelter provider for the homeless in Northwest Illinois. We're counting down the days and we're just about there. Had kind of somewhat of an unusual night last night. To some degree, kind of a little bit of a headache, but all for a good cause, I think, in the end. It's justified. So, get done with church, went back to FACC, uploaded yesterday's blog, sometime in the mid-afternoon, came out here to my spot, and just kind of did some improvements on the property. Built a little fire pit and collected some kindling and some tinder and some small wood just for maybe a small fire tonight, and maybe I could cook some food, some beans or something like that. So that's kind of what I was in the process of doing. At about 4:30 or so, just right when I got my fire started, and I was able to do that on one match. I was very happy about that. Got the fire going, and I'm a homeless guy with a cell phone. Cell phone rings. It's Landon from 23 News. Wants to come out and do a follow-up interview about this project. And I'm like, you guys were just out here on Friday. Do we need another update just a couple days later? He said, well, I don't know. They must not have been happy with what they got or whatever. I don't know. So he wants to come back out, do another interview, and he's like, I'd really like to come out tonight, and can I come to where you're at? And I'm like, well, I don't really want you to come where I'm at, because number one, I don't want well-meaning people that know me or watching this blog to try to find me, and also I don't want anybody out there that would just prefer stomp me into the ground to know where I'm at either. So why don't I meet you somewhere else? And then, well, first I was like, I'm kind of busy right now, is this anything we can do tomorrow or Tuesday or something? And so he's like, let me call you back. So he gets off the phone, and it's kind of funny, but in my mind, and I appreciate the interest in my mind, though, I'm going, this is just like telemarketer, can't I just, get some things done around the house? So he calls back. He's like, no, he said, we're going to do it. We really got to do it tonight. Can I come out to Freeport? So I'm like, okay. Well, I'll tell you what, why don't we meet downtown? We'll meet on the corner of Stevenson and Chicago. Not going to go back to Tuddy's Park and upset anybody. So I go, meet him down there. So he gets in about 6 o'clock. We meet down there at 6 o'clock. Do the interview, and in the process of doing the interview, Pastor Corey McLaurin from Bridge Church, it's right there on the corner, he pulls up, and he's got this kind of packet of food that he comes over, and he's like, hey, I'm going to give this to you. And I'm like, no, I'm pretty good. And he's like, well, I saw somebody the other day. That's why I have it with me. I saw somebody the other day who was diving in a dumpster, and I just kind of felt bad. So I grabbed this and I tried to find him, but I couldn't find him. And so I still have it in the vehicle. So he gave it to me, and I'm like, okay, tell you what, if I see this guy or see a guy that's in need of it, I'm just, I'm good. I've got canned goods back at my spot. I'll just give this to him. So just about that time that we're, wrapping things up, I, still talking to him. I see this young guy kind of walking around a corner, and he's got a couple bags with him. And, bottom line is, if you're downtown at, 6, 7 o'clock at night, when you have a couple bags wrapped around you or whatnot, you don't have a place to go, most likely. So conclude the interview, and I catch up with this young guy, and I'm like, hey, what's up, man? And he's like, well, so I don't have a place to go. And so then I was, introduced myself. I said, well, I'm Dean Wright, blah, 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 blah. He gives me his name, and, for just sake of client, confidentiality, I'm going to, just call him, the kid. So the kid tells me he's been homeless since Friday. And last Friday, not just this last Friday, last Friday. Got no place to stay, and so I'm like, all right, I kind of tell him what I'm doing and why I'm out here and why the camera was out here. And so we start walking, and I'm saying, look, let's roll up to the Liberty Avenue Mission, see if we can't get you in there. And the kid says, well, they're full. And I said, well, who'd you talk to? And he talked to Scotty, he talked to Tim earlier in the week, and all the beds are full. And I kind of know this to be true, because I kind of keep up on how many people we got staying over at the shelter. So I do know that they've been full here lately. So then my second thought is, well, maybe you can come back with me. While I was, out there kind of getting some firewood and whatnot, I did see, some materials that I could make another shanty with real quick. I had been thinking about subdividing the property anyway, and I think I've got a spot that would work out really nice for someone. Actually, a kid at church, Seth Nelson, I think he's very enamored with what I'm doing, and so I was thinking of Seth this morning. I'm thinking, I could build Seth a little shanty next to mine. I could have a little homeless buddy. His parents probably wouldn't be too happy, but I think Seth would love it. But we probably should hold off on that, Seth. So I'm thinking, I could, come back with me, get the fire going, blah, blah, blah. And so, I'm starting to kind of explain where I'm at, what I'm doing, and I just kind of get the sense of seeing this kid's eyes, and I'm thinking, then all of a sudden I'm thinking, oh yeah, you're Casper, the friendly homeless guy. No, he's okay, he's safe, and I'm thinking a kid, did you say your name was Dean or Eddie Gein? What I didn't get you that. So I'm thinking that's probably not a good idea. So I'm like, all right, come on, let's go up to FACC. I got the keys. So we roll into FACC. I'm like, you hungry? He said, yeah. I said, let me whip up some eggs. I said, how you with corned beef hash? He said, I like corned beef hash. So whip him up some eggs, corned beef hash, got the football game on. I'm thinking, okay, what am I going to do with this guy? So I just decided, I'm just going to take him to the motel, get him situated there. We'll just pick him up tomorrow morning and kind of figure out where we go from there. So did all that, grabbed my van keys, took him out there, got him squared away. By the time it came back to FACC, got the dishes done, all that kind of other stuff. It's pretty close to 9:30, almost 10 o'clock. So get my stuff back, roll back on out here to the spot. Of course, the fire's gone, and I was a little sad about that. So I just, crawled into the shanty, or Hotel Dupec, as I'm starting to call it. And I rolled into my hotel room here and, kind of lay awake for a little bit and then went to sleep. Actually, I had a pretty good sleep. Woke up this morning at about 4:30, to the sounds of, the humidity and dew dropping on the tarp of the shanty. And then it just strikes me, all right, dude, you were unfocused last night because you didn't put your tinder or your kindling or your wood under any kind of protection from the moisture. And now it's probably wet, and it is wet. So I was really kind of looking forward to having that hot can of pork and beans this morning, but that's just not going to happen, because I tried to get the fire going and it ain't going to happen. So going to do some prep. I know some areas in the woods because I was here yesterday afternoon where the sun kind of shines, gets through the woods. Going to kind of put my stuff there, my tinder, my kindling there. Maybe it'll dry out. I'm going to probably try to do a little bonus feature today, kind of a little bit on the not the subject of the kid, but just how that all happened and how that all came about, and maybe what we can take away from that. So with really nothing else really to report or say, I'm going to head off to work here pretty soon and try to get some work done at FACC. I'm getting kind of used to this in a kind of a weird kind of way. Not that I'm not looking forward to Thursday and going home, but it could be worse. I've been blessed with good weather. Other than just the wetness in the morning, I've been blessed with good weather, and I thank the Lord for that, because this would be a completely different story if it was zero outside. I would not be so chipper. This is Dean Wright, 10 Days of Homelessness, wishing you a great Monday, December 3rd, I'm going to guess. Have a great day.